Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Friday, September 15th.
It looks like less than 50% of the residential dwelling units in the city of Palm Coast have what you would call reliable coverage.
That's what Diamond Communications determined in its analysis and assessment of cell service in Palm Coast. Some poorly served areas include undeveloped lands, and while the city must preserve wetlands, Alphen cautioned.
We do sport the best trail system and kayaking areas probably anywhere in the region, if not the state. I want to make sure that none of our folks that are using any of our amenities are left unsafe without some available coverage to call for emergency assistance should they need it.
He also directed the city manager to get with law enforcement and other first responders to get a sense of
where are their sore spots. In other words, I'm concerned because there's no part of this presentation that indicates that first responders have blanked out or difficult areas, and I would need to be sure that they have a communication available to them wherever and whenever they need it. So that's very important to me.
This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you.
Flagler County Commission Chair Greg Hansen and Vice Chair Andy Dance sit on 3 Florida Association of Counties legislative policy committees. Dance will serve on the Water and Environmental Sustainability Committee for a 3rd year.
We deal with all types of issues for water resources and planning, septic tank conversions, the Florida Wildlife Corridor, and submerged lands. Those all fall within that category. And that's an area that I've dedicated my entire life and career as a landscape architect toward water quality and environmental preservation. So those hit home with me.
For the first time, Dance will serve on the Health, Safety, and Justice Committee.
I chair the Community Traffic Safety Committee. So here locally, our resident safety is of top concern. So in this committee, we look at issues that relate to our first responders. Human trafficking is covered as well as other health concerns.
Hansen will serve on the Federal Policy Committee, which develops a federal advocacy program to share with national leaders and lawmakers. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Amy Cherry.
Flagler County's PACE unit makes a trafficking fentanyl arrest. Karen Johnson reports.
This week, members of the Flagler County Sheriff's Office Problem Area Crime Enforcement Unit initiated a traffic stop on a vehicle near Whiteview Parkway and Whippoorwill Drive. Then the traffic stop turned into a drug arrest. More from Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley.
Problem Area Crime Enforcement Unit, known as PACE, did an outstanding job arresting a fentanyl trafficker. He's now residing in the Green Roof Inn where he belongs. Very proud of our PACE unit for their proactive job they do every day.
Since the beginning of 2023, Flagler County Sheriff's Office deputies have seized approximately 210 grams of fentanyl, which is enough to kill an estimated 105,000 people.
The 16th annual Intracoastal Waterway Cleanup in Palm Coast was a huge success.
Volunteers began gathering at the Palm Coast Community Center early Saturday morning, where they received a free t-shirt, trash bags, and gloves before heading out to collect trash from parks, waterways, trails, and roadways in Palm Coast. Brittany Kershaw is the Communications and Marketing Director for the City of Palm Coast.
We had over 190 volunteers and they collected over 1,800 pounds of trash throughout the City of Palm Coast, including along our waterways. This event every year is supported by a $5,000 donation from the Florida Inland Navigation District, and we wouldn't be able to have this event without that donation, so we very, very much appreciate that grant.
At the close of the event, volunteers were rewarded with prizes for the person who collected the most trash, the group that collected the most trash, and the most unique trash find. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
What is required academically to stay in high school athletics?
Matenza's head football coach Matt Forrest said it's a high mark to keep up.
We do grade checks usually every 2 weeks. And if they have below a 3.0, they've got to check in. And that's just something that, again, is just for us and what we do. I think we had 48 kids have a 3.0 or higher out of a 75-person roster in the spring.
Forrest said that with all the distractions that students face and their grades fall below that 3.0 mark, they have to have a face-to-face with their football coach so that they stay on track to stay on the team. Common Grounds is on WNZF Sunday mornings at 10 and on the Flagler radio app. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
The weekend is here and there's plenty of family fun to be had in Flagler County. This is Stacy with Fun for Augie Kids.
Today, the Flagler NAACP Youth Council presents the All That Jazz Books and More benefit. There will be a meet and greet with local authors, book signings, and readings enhanced by smooth live jazz, dancing, and refreshments. Join Flagler Open Arms Recovery Service for their 3rd annual family-friendly festival. There will be rock painting and Kona ice for the children, along with live bands, food trucks, exhibitors, and more. Sunday, Octane and Coffee Palm Coast is hosting their Sunday car show. This family-friendly car show will have food, beverages, vendors, raffles, and giveaways as everyone gets together to show off their rides. For more on these events and others, please visit us on our website at fun4augiekids.com. Have a great weekend.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.
And now, Mike Licio with your WNZF local sports update.
The 15th Potato Bowl is tonight when the Pirates and Bulldogs meet at Matanzas in the WNZF Game of the Week. The Bulldogs have won 12 of the first 14 meetings on the field, but were forced to forfeit last year. Head coach Daniel Fish says his team has something to prove.
I think there's a lot of motivation for this one, and for both sides, for Matanzas as well. They're a much improved team. I think Forrest has done a great job over there building that program up, and it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a dogfight. I'm just excited to be a part of the rivalry. I'm excited to continue to silence all the doubters, and I think our kids really have taken it personal.
The Pirates are off to their best start since 2016 when they last beat FPC on the scoreboard. This week, the Pirates focused on the men in the mirror.
Ever since I took over the program, we've always been focused on ourselves and in-house and control what we can control. And Friday, we told the guys, rest up this weekend, and you got a big week ahead of us. So come back Monday ready to rock and roll. And we've got to have a great Monday practice to start the week, and got to have a great week of practice in order to earn the right to compete on Friday.
Rich Carroll and I have a special broadcast beginning at 6:55. Listen to the game live on WNZF and the Flagler radio app. Watch the game on the Flagler Broadcasting YouTube channel. At halftime, hear from Potato Bowl legends Bulldog Marcel Williams and Pirate Mackenzie Wagner. Tomorrow morning, listen to a Potato Bowl post-game edition of the Rich and Mike Sports Show, airing at 7:30 a.m. Last night's action, Matanzas Volleyball swept Seabreeze. They are now 6-2. FPC Girls Golf beat Pedro Menendez by 16. Carmela Carlisi paced the Bulldogs with a 37. Cross country tomorrow, FPC is at the 3D Distance Classic. Matanzas is at the Katie Caples Invitational. FPC Volleyball is at a tournament in Jacksonville tomorrow. Sunday, the Jaguars host the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. That game is live on WNZF at 1. We're your home for local sports, with updates Mondays and Fridays. From the Sports Desk, I'm Mike Licio.